Oh, hey, I didn't know you guys were here. Welcome back once again to the Motherboards.org YouTube channel. I'm Eric Ferris, your host. I know you guys have been waiting for it. So today we're doing part 3 of building the beast. Now you guys have seen part 1, that's behind me. You guys have all seen part 2. We talk about the build, all the specs. We showed you all the other scores, but today's main focus is on the video card. Now, this is the EVGA FTW Hydro Copper 2. Now, this is the GTX 583 gigabyte version that we're using. Now, what I've done first of all is I've overclocked the card completely. Back behind me, you guys can see the screen. We'll also throw a screenshot up so you guys can see it more clear, but I've overclocked everything. The core clock I now have at 900 megahertz. The shader clock I have at 1800 and the memory at 2004. So I've overclocked this thing to be basically the exact same thing as their classified version of the card, and everything's running fine. Also, as far as temperatures go, the card is running completely cool. You guys saw we have at SwiftTech completely cooled the system off. Thank you, Gabe. And the card runs completely cool, even overclock. Temperatures aren't jumping around at all. So now let's go over some of the pros and the cons about this system. Now, I know the number one thing that everybody's going to ask out there is going to be Battlefield 3. So that said, let's right now jump in and see some gameplay of Battlefield 3. You guys can see that frame rates aren't dropping really below 55 frames per second. They go all the way up to about 60. So this game is totally playable in Battlefield 3. Here's a screenshot showing you guys all the settings. Everything is set to its ultra most highest setting. I'm getting no lag, nothing at all in the game, no game residue, no screen tears. Everything is just running amazing. One thing to take note of is that all the games that you see here in this video that we recorded were all played at 2560 by 1600 on my Dell 30-inch monitor. Now, for those folks of you out there that are watching, this had to be downscaled for you to see it, but if you're playing out there at 1920 by 1080 or 1900 by 1200 resolution, you're gonna get even much higher frame rates than seen here. So there we answer the question of Battlefield 3. You guys can see that it plays really amazing. So this card is definitely a solid thumbs up, much better than its predecessor, the 1.5 gigabyte card that we tested previously. The next game we're going to jump into is one of my personal favorites. This game is Crysis 2. Now, this is where I do have a problem with this game and this system. I don't know what's going on, but I cannot turn on the DirectX 11 features. As soon as I turn on the DirectX 11 features, the game will play for about 5 or 6 minutes and then just stop working. The screen goes black and gameplay becomes unavailable. I've sent an email over to the EVGA forums. Hopefully they'll answer me so I can correct this problem. Beyond that though, I'll jump into the game. You guys can see it totally plays good. Amazing frame rates. No screen tearing. The only drawback is I'm not able to use the DirectX 11 settings. I can play the game on Ultra or Extreme, no problem, on DirectX 9. But as soon as I go to DirectX 11, I get a black screen. So there you guys have seen it. Those are two of my favorite games. I could go through a whole bunch of gameplay online and show you guys this stuff, but I know you guys just like to see a little bit of gameplay, so I listened to you guys, and I threw a little bit in that. But now, let's take a look at how this EVGA GTX 580 for the 1 Hydro Copper 2 actually does against the latest R7970 from the folks over at XFX. So you guys have seen everything about it. You guys have seen this card. You know that it's got custom SwiftTech water cooling on it. It's coming to market though at about $700. It's very, very pricey. And I know that with new cards looming right in the future, the GTX 680 is rumored to come out. Most people might be still shying away, but the card does have some very good things about it. It overclocks really well. It does. It overclocks really well. I was able to set it to the same as its classified version and keep it going without any problems at all. I really think the main factors in this card and all the factors about any of the new GTX 580 3GB editions is basically how it addresses games. And the biggest game on the planet, which is Battlefield 3, we can clearly see that it does perform excellent with that game. Much better than its 1.5GB predecessor or younger brother, however you want to look at it. So at the end of the day, yes, the card is very, very expensive, but it's also a very, very nice running card. It plays games great, it runs cool, and it's highly overclockable. I may even try to overclock it a little bit further in the future here. I just really didn't want to burn up a card that I paid $700 for, because yes, I actually did pay for this out of my pocket, as we discussed before. So that's pretty much it, folks. You guys have seen it. The card does what it's supposed to do. The 3GB version came out to be a Battlefield 3 taker, and it does do that very, very well. That said, see you guys back here on Motherboards.org soon.